Hello, everybody. Sound check. Can you guys hear me? Can? Okay, great. All right. Please forgive me. I'm just now getting back in town not long ago, and some people sent me some questions, and sorry, I'm still admitting people. Yeah, they sent some questions, and I haven't been able to get around to them yet. But if you ask them and you're here today, please feel free to ask while we're in class. So we had we talked about time last time, and we're gonna just come back around to that. Usually we do like quizzes and all that in the beginning, but today we kind of have a lot of material to go over. I didn't realize like we only got like 2 weeks. This is like the sixth or seventh week. So anyway, I'm gonna try to move a little bit faster, and then we'll come back together to do our interactions and so forth. Okay. So one thing I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably already heard before is like directional adverbs. So these are you have a verb, and then after the verb comes what we call directional adverbs, like atu. Okay. So if I say savaliatu, savali is to walk, to is to run, vai is to see. In this instance right here, we have savaliatu. So ote, we know that's I, habitually, and then savali, walk, and then to, towards the location. So that is our directional adverb. So I know we've been learning like tense, action, subject, and all of that. But if you see like, okay, we have our tense subject combination right there, and then we have our action. I'm sorry. Our tense pronoun combination right there. And then we have our action, savali. And then if you're wondering, well, what's the atu? What's that? That is all we're doing is we're just taking the savali and we're sending it to a direction. So it's giving it a little bit more description. So ote savali atu. Okay, so walk towards the location. Ile potuai. So to the eating room. Okay, or the rest yeah, to the eating room. Right. Mai is away from the location. So if I say like saya malanga, malanga is travel, okay, and then yeah, that's gonna be him, her, or it. Sa is a past tense. So let's just say she traveled or she was traveling mai from Samoa. So you could look at this as like a location, like how we start our location phrase, mai Samoa, or you could also look at it as a directional adverb. Okay, malanga mai, travel from, Savaliatu, walk to, okay? And then besides something is gonna be ane, enofoane, letama, ileteni. So the boy sits, habitually sits. So maybe in class, every time we come together in class, the boy sits, beside the girl. Enofoane, letama, ileteni. All right. Um, some more here. Esse. I heard this all the time. My grandma used to tell me, she'd be like, yeah, alwese, get away, go away. So go away. Go is the alu and esse is away. So it doesn't matter if I'm standing way over there, she'll say alwese, like get away from that, or go away from me, whatever, whatever, you know, her reference point is. But esse is away from whatever the location is. Okay. Ifo. Ifo is below, down. So, and I know we could say ilalo o, and if we wanted to say things out that way. But if you also wanted to just put a directional adverb after our action, tamoe. If I say tamoe ifo, na tamoe ifo, lo uso isitepu. So we have if we want to start with our subject the way that we do in English, your brother, and then na tamoe, tamoe is to run. So past tense run down, and then I sitepu. And our location is going to be the steps, the steps. So Here's our subject, lo uso. Okay. Tense is past tense. Our action is all of this, tamoe, and then equal. This is our directional adverb, which is our new subject for today. Okay. Tense, action, subject, and then where? The location is temple. Um, the down the steps. Na tamoe ifo lo uso is step, and then ae is up. So ualuae le ngaka or ngata, either way, K style, T style, e le maunga. So tense. I probably should have did this with all of them just in case, because I think there's a couple new people here. Tense action is, and then here's our new thing. This is gonna connect with our action. And then lenaka or lenata is a snake, the snake, sorry. And then le maunga. So this is gonna be our location. So the snake has gone up the mountain. The snake has gone up the mountain. Ualuae lengaka is maunga. Okay. Any questions on directional adverbs? I think that's all of those. So again, if you didn't want to say, or if you would just want a different way to say ilalo o ilunga o italane o, and all of that, here's another way. You just put a directional adverb after the action. And again, it just takes practice. We do have some worksheets on this that you can download and you can practice that. So now, here's the big one for today. Well, one or two of the big ones for today. Question, okay? Got to be able to ask questions in Samoan. A lot of it, statements and questions in Samoan is pretty much the same, except we just add these words right here. But one thing that's very important is the inflection of the voice. Like if I were to say in English, let me see, the kids are hungry, or the kids are hungry. So that's the statement. The kids are hungry. But I could say in Samoan, we can do it this like this. The kids are hungry. Like, it's just the inflection of the voice. The kids are hungry, as opposed to the kids are hungry. So the first this way, the kids are hungry is a statement. The kids are hungry. You'll hear, someone speak like that all the time. That is a question. Same words, but it's just the way that it's said. Okay. But now, if we wanted to actually put a question word in front of it, who, what, when, where, how, and why, who is going to be oi, oi. Okay. And we'll get into specific examples of these in a second. So who is oi? Okay. Where is ofea? Ofea. How is fa'apefea? A little, I don't want to say more formal way, but because it's not always more formal. And then we have oa, oa, and then what is olea? This should have that olea, okay. And then also, this is look at it like this. This is a singular what. This slide doesn't reflect that. So a singular what? Olea, olea, and it's a singular what because of the le, okay. A plural what? This is another way to say what, but it's plural. Oa, oa. All right. And then we have afea. You might even see it where it's a and then space and then fair. And then we have anafea, anafea, which is this is a future when. Okay, so if I ask a question like, when is this going to happen? And I'm asking about something that's going to happen in the future. So I'll say, well, afea. I fear this, I fear that, unfair. Where I'm still asking a question, but I'm asking like, when did it happen? When did it happen? Okay. And then the is it's a future. It's pretty much a shortened afia. It's like an abbreviated afia. So you'll hear it all, every single one of these kind of ways right here. And then why? Why I say I say this, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Okay. So those are the question words, and we'll get into specific examples as soon as oh, there we go. So who, you can start it with a noun phrase, okay? You can just put oi and then a noun phrase. For example, oi and then le pule. I don't have to say o le pule because we have oi, okay? So oi le pule. So who's the boss? Who's the ruler? Who is the person in charge? Oi le pule. Okay? So simple as that. Then we have you can connect it with the action phrase. And actually this is a so we have oi, who, and then just the whole sentence here. We have na ave esse la uta avale. Oi na ave esse la uta avale. Who took my car? Okay. So just to break it down, this is our who. Okay. Na, that's our tense, of course. Well, not of course. That's na is our tense. Ave esse. Remember, esse is what we talked about 10 minutes ago. So esse is our directional adverb. Ave esse. Who took away? Who took away? And then my car. La uta avale. Okay. Who took away my car? Right. Oai lae tutonu ole fale. Who is in the house? And so we have our lae. Sorry. We have our oai, which is our who. Okay. So who, and then we go right into a location phrase, or right into a target, as it says right here. So lae. Remember, lae is like over there, away from us, over there. Oai lae, and then we have e inside of the house. Ole fale. Oai lae tutonu ole fale. Who's inside of the house? Who's in the house? Okay, so that's all ways that we can put say who. So anytime if you're working on like journals or things that you practice every day, if you're asking questions, make sure oi, and you can just phrase it out like that. I say ah, I say ah. I guess we're not going in order here because okay. So yeah, who now? Here we go with the why. This is followed by a verb phrase. So I say ah. Let me go to a whiteboard because I don't think I have any example. Okay, so I say and then why na eh why did you um tamo esse my my ya. Anyone knows what this one says? Does anyone know what this says by chance? So we
Why
have
did
our
you run away from me?
right. Why did you run away? Why did you run away from me? Why? And then we have a past tense. So we have our na tense subject, and then tamo esse. So this is our action. Both of these together is our action. And then remember we have the mayatea. Okay, so all of that is our location. Mayatea. Why did you run away from me? From to me. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So that's our why example. Let's go back to our usually has the reference I or EI. I didn't put that in there as a question. We'll come back to this part. We'll come back to that. How and what? We have oa and fa'apefea. So if we were to say, what is that? The singular way to say what is olea, olea. Okay, so if we're asking about a singular thing, make sure you put the le in there. That makes it singular. So olea lenamea. What is that, or what is that thing? In Samoan, a lot of times you'll hear mea to mean thing. So olea lenamea. Olea lenamea. To make it plural, we have to drop the le, okay? Because we need a plural what. So instead of olea, this is singular. To make it plural, we say oa, oa namia, oa namia. And then also instead of that, remember a singular that is lena, but to make it plural, we drop the le and then we make na. So you see the difference between olea lena and then oana. Oana, that's our plural. And then so oana me, what are those? Okay, what is that? Olea lena me. Okay. And then we have here's a popular phrase, how are you doing? Oamaioi. Oamaioi. So how are you or how are you doing? If I and it means the same thing. It's just we're using different words. If I okay. So that's how and what. Okay. When affair is used for future references. Okay. And again, like I said, you might see just and then a space and then fair. People spell it different ways. And then you might even see o affair, or like we have right here, o affair. All right. The O begins a question, but most of the times people just drop it, especially when people are talking in conversation. You might not even hear it. It usually introduces the verb phrase or action phrase. So look right here, when, because you're asking when something is happening. So we're asking about an action. So that's why it usually introduces a verb or action phrase. So o a faire et aluiai. So when or affair, you go to it. That's a location. EI or affair etialuyai. So when you going to it, when are you going to that thing, whatever it is. And whenever you see the I or EI, we're it's the subject is already understood. So if I ask you, o affair etialuyai, you know what the EI is because it's understood. So when are you going to the game? When are you going to the class? When are you going to the meeting? When are you going wherever it is? It's already understood. So when something is understood in Samoan, that is when people say, they'll replace a whole phrase like the location phrase instead of saying o affair te alui le fono. They'll say o affair te alui ai. Okay. Instead of saying, when are you going to the meeting? They'll say, when are you going, EI? when are you going to, uh, yeah, the meeting? Hopefully I didn't confuse anybody with that. So, o affair, o le a e aluiai. So when will you go? When will you go? So this one right here is just, we're kind of saying the same thing. This is when do you go to when do you go to it? And this right here is when will you go to it? Okay, but a lot of times people use them interchangeable. Or le a e aluyai. And then this one right here is o afea e a matai, or o afea e a makai. So this is when does it start? Or I'm sorry, when will it start? When will it start? Okay. Past tense when, anafea, anafea. So anafea is used for past tense references. Okay, so even though we have o anafea and we know that this is going to be past tense, when we start our phrase, we still need to have our past tense marker. So o anafea sta e aluiai. O anafea na e aluiai. Just depends on what the context is. Okay. O begins the question, but it's often omitted. Same thing as the last one. As o affair. It's the same with o anafea. So a lot of times people just omit the o on that. Okay. And same thing is going to introduce a verb phrase. So sa e aluiai. Did you go? So we would not say o affair. Let me write it out. We wouldn't say. Sorry. Okay. So we wouldn't say o affair, and then sa e aluyay. Okay. So because this is future tense, right? O affair, and then when will, I don't even know how to say that. Um, when will you went to it? When will you went to it? It doesn't make sense. So the affair, if we're gonna say an affair, we have to have past tense, a past tense marker, and everything has to be past tense after that. So that's why this would be an affair. Or an affair sa e aluyay. All right. Someone asked a question. Sa o an affair na e aluyay. Yep. It's a oi. And so yes, you can use na or sa. It's so na is when did you go to it, and then sa is when were, let's like when were you going to it? Just depending, but people use sa and na interchangeably all the time. So you'll just know from the context when you're talking to folks. Okay. And then on this one is o ana fesa e amakai or ana fesa e amatai. So when did it start? When did it start? So past tense when, and then sa e amatai, or when it started. I probably should have used na. So like when did it start? Sa makes sense too, but I think if I start explaining that, it's going to take more time than necessary. But na and sa, okay, are past tense. And where is ofer? Now, a lot of times, especially when I was growing up, I would mix up like when and where, because they'll just say fair, and but if they're just saying ofer, then they're saying where. Okay, afer. That's when. Anafair, that is also past tense. That's a past tense when. Okay, but if they just say fair, you kind of just have to know by the context. Do they mean when or do they mean where? All right. So technically speaking, au fair is gonna be where. All right. So you can just say au fair and then go right into like your noun phrase. And I'm saying it like this because remember, when you're writing out your journals or whatever it is that you use to practice speaking someone or learning someone every single day, you'll know, okay, you ofer, and then okay, what's my noun phrase? Oletama. Okay, we don't have to put oletama because it's coming after the ofer. So ofeletama. Where is the boy? Where is the boy? Okay, so you got your noun phrase, ofer, ofeletama. It can come right after an action phrase or a verb phrase. So ofer, where, and then we have our tense, we have our subject, we have our action, and then when you see this, the I is just it's already understood. Whatever we're talking about is already understood. Where did you take my pen? So o afer sa e avatu ai la upen. Okay. Um, another way to look at this is like, when we say like tense, subject, action, a lot of times there's a tendency in Samoan language to say the subject after the action. Okay. To say the subject after the action. Whenever we say the subject beforehand, before the action, sometimes people just say I after. They'll just say, so they'll say, o afer sa, instead of saying, o afer sa e avatu la upen, you'll hear people say, o afer sa e avatu ai la upen, because it just sounds like something that's supposed to go there after the action before we talk about, our location for it. Okay. And again, that's just something that's just going to take more practice. it would be more confusing if I keep talking about it right now. But this DI is usually something that's already understood, or is people just put it right there because it just sounds like it's something supposed to go after the action. Okay. Um, and then we can just use it right with a target phrase or a location. O affaire la e. So remember, la e is that's a preposition. It's like over there, and then inside of the house. So where inside of the house? So if you say oletama oletama lai tutonu lefale, like the boy is over there in the house. And then I say where inside? Where in the house? Where inside of the house? O afe lai tutonu o afe lai e tutonu lefale. Ilefale. This is wrong. I know I messed up right there. This should be tutonu o lefale. Okay. So where inside of the house? So several different ways you can use it. But when you're practicing with your writing, o fair, where, you can do it with a noun phrase right after. You can do like a whole sentence with, starting with the tense, subject, action, and you might put the I in there, and then you know, with the la opinion, the other subject, and get rid of that. Okay, and then the last point, which I've already said, the I comes after the verb when it's already understood, or we talked about it already, or sometimes people just throw it in there because it just sounds like it's supposed to be there. Don't know any other way to explain that one. I say means why. Okay, so why did that happen? So represent the I represents the target noun. So I say na twice. Now almost every time you hear I say that the I comes right there. So it's almost like, just think if I'm asking you a question where the context is already understood, the subject is understood. So when the subject is understood in Samoan, that's when you're gonna see this the I. Okay. So almost every time it's in the sentence. Whenever you say I say for example, I say so here's our why, here's our tense, here's our subject, here's our action, and then for some reason we just put the I in there. It represents an understood subject. I'll just circle it like that. It's understood. So I say na e chupuai. I say we're like, why did that happen? Or why did it happen? Okay. The EI represents the direction happening to the location phrase. So why did you go there? So why did you go there? So I say this is our I say and then so we have our past tense, na e, you go, na e alu, and then our location would be the EI. All right. So why did you go there? I say na e alu ya. Why did you go to there? Why did you go to that direction, to that place? Again, we say yeah, I, because whatever we're talking about is already understood. Okay. In why questions, I and EI follow the action phrase. So right after the action, alu, tupu, then we have the I or the EI. Okay. All right. I think I got talked fast enough. Oh, and then the reply to why. Okay. The reply to why. So just like in English, we say because. In Samoan, we're gonna say awa, awa. So awa na ofia. I say ana e aluiai. Like, why did you go there? Awa, because na o. So past tense I wanna hungry. Fiai. Like I was wanted to eat because I wanted to eat. Often used in short answer. Okay, so usually you just use the awa and then you just say why. You're answering the question. Awa na ofi ai. I was hungry. Or awa sa ofi ai. Bad reason is leanga. So it's the same as awa, but if we use leanga, it's like we're gonna give a bad reason. So na oalu ilo ufale leanga. So it's because, so na oalu ilo ufale, I went to my house, past tense, I go to my house. I went to my house. Bad reason, leanga, na o leai, no, I'm sorry, na o leai te kupe. I didn't have any money. I went to my house and then I follow up with a bad reason, leanga. Leanga also means it's bad. And then we have another tense, subject, and then leai, did not have a money. I didn't have any money. All right, so I went to my house because I didn't have no money. And then another way is onna. Onna is another way to say it. So it's often used in a statement before tense markers. And these ones right here, ua, sa, e, te. And it's just another way to say it. I mean, people say, I hear people say awa. Again, we're just kind of going by what the books, what the philosophers say. But onna, so e mangaya le tama. The boy is nice. Onna, and then if we're using onna as a because, then we follow up with these sense markers, ua, sa, e, or te. So, e mangaya le tama, the boy is nice because ua sasa e lonatina, because the mom, because the mom whooped him, or, the mom beat him up or whatever. E mangaya le tama ona ua sasa e lonatina. All right. And then because of, it's the same. So on the O. So the O is kind of like a of, followed by a noun phrase. So olo'otangi le toyaina on the O lana uoteni. All right. So olo'otangi le toyaina. So our tense, olo'o. Tangi is to cry. So crying, olo'o. Remember, olo'o is the continuous tense, the ing tense. Crying, the old man. The old man is crying. On the O because of Lana, his uoteni, girlfriend. The old man is crying because of his girlfriend. We can also start the sentence, so you can flip it around like that. If you wanted to write it this way in your practices and your journal, you can just start your sentence like that. On the O because of Lana uoteni, because of his girlfriend, Olo utangi letoyaina. Because of his girlfriend crying, the old man. The old man's crying. So we're saying the same thing, we're just flipping it around. Okay. Now, I guess we're right on time. Let's just take so it's 7 questions here. Let's take 7 minutes. That's gonna put us right at 40 minutes after the hour, and just translate these. We'll start right now. I'll write the word, I'll write the words that, so you don't have to look them up. Okay. So, yeah. I'll, okay. Mute myself. All right. Hopefully we were able to get at least a few of these. These are questions that you can ask all the time. You can throw people off. And if you're able to ask like, who's the girl in Samoan? You like, oh wow, I didn't know you could speak Samoan. So if you can ask questions like this and do it in the right context, in the right way, it's a gratifying feeling. So this especially when you're able to put these things together with phrases, the tense, action, subject, location, and all of that. So let's get down to it. How do we say who is the girl in Samoan?
Oi, Litini.
Oi Litani. Yep. Oi Litani. Straightforward. We have who, and then we have the girl. Who the girl? Who the girl? Okay. Oi Litani. What is this? And there's a couple different ways that we can say this. So we're gonna do both of them. How do we say what is this in Samoan?
Olea Leneme.
Yep. Olea Lename. Okay. And man, now I think about it, I'm not sure if we talked about Lene, Lena, and all of that in detail. But does anyone know how to say how do we say this a different way?
Olea lea mea.
Okay, let's see. O lea le
Lea mea, or is it mea lea?
me lea. Okay, yep. O lea le me lea. Okay, yeah. So you know what? I need to squeeze this into our next one. So I won't go into detail about this. I really don't think we talked about it. I get these classes confused sometimes. So yeah. So oleale melia. So what is this? Both of these say the same thing, but we'll get into um, we'll get into that in our next class, or maybe the class after that one. So what are those? How do we say what are those?
Wana mea.
Oahangamia. Right. Okay. So we a few years ago, maybe it's I don't know. I'm old now, so where people was like, "What are those?" So oahangamia. The Samoans were like, "Oahangamia, oahangamia." So that's what they were saying. If they ever said that to you, you know, you came out with the Timu or the what's the other place, the Alibaba shoes, and they say oahangamia. That's what they meant. They were saying, you know, what are those? So, where are my boxes? Where are my boxes?
Opea au pusa.
Ofer, and then au pusa. Ofer au pusa. Okay, so we have where, and then we have my, and then we have box. And this is a plural my. This is plural because in some it's different. If you're just not joining us, if we were to say Ofer la upusa, that's where's my box. That's where's my box. But in Samoan, we change the plurality of by going to the word that limits our noun. So our noun is box opusa, right? So this is a singular box. Ofer la upusa. Where's my box? But if we wanted to say where are my boxes, plural, we have to take away the L. Ofer upusa. Awesome. Okay. So when did you come here? When did you come here? So we got who, what, when, where, and then who, what, and where. Now, when did you come here?
On a Venezuela,
Say again.
on a Venezuela,
Yeah, on a fair, and then
Nassau,
nice
Nassau,
out, nice out. Yep, not nice out. So when did you come? So when past tense when on a fair, and then this is we have to match up. We wouldn't say on a fair on a. We wouldn't say you can't say on a fair a, but when we're talking about you know everything's past tense. So on a fair na esa. And then where's another way to say this? Like if we were to say it, this is perfectly fine. People say this all the time. But if we wanted to say like if we wanted to add our location, so we're start ending with our what do you call that? This is our action. Or on a fair nice out. But then there's a if you wanted to we I guess I'll just go ahead and say it.
Is it I
Oh.
ine?
Yeah, that's another way. Like I E. So
is so my oi.
yeah, that's another way. Yeah, there's several ways to say it. I think now yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to say it generally to make it to simplify it just in case anyone doesn't understand. But everybody's right. Everybody all of you guys that said it was right. So Oana fe na e sawai. That's one way. Inge, oi, like all of those are correct, but I guess I was just going for like the tense and then subject, action, and then like the I is like it's already understood. Um, or you might hear people say like yeah, o ana fair na e sawai. They'll say like that, or they'll just say o ana fair na e sawai. Okay, great. Everybody was correct. This rarely is there's only one way to say any of this stuff, but I just want to make sure that we get the gist of it. So when will you go? When will you go? How do we say this one? So we have when. How do we say our future when? How do we say the future when?
O afe o le a e alo iai.
Yeah. O a fe o le a e alu iai. O le a e alu iai. Or you might say it like this. Okay. So we have our future tense when or affair, or you might just see affair, either one. And then we come in with our statements, okay? Will or you go to it? Will you go to it? So there's a tendency in the Samoan language, to go ahead and put that put something after the action, alu o affair o le a e alu. Usually, at least from the people that I hear, that they put something after the action. Iai or affair o le a e alu iai. Something like that. Okay. Let me hurry up. And last one. Why did she walk away from the desk? Why did she walk away from the desk? This will be the bonus question.
Ase na ia sa vale ese mai le kese.
I say ia savali esse mai le kes. Awesome. All right. So we have why. That's our why. And then it's a past tense. Did she na ia savali esse? So this is what we introduced on the first couple of minutes of class. Savali esse, walk away. Savali is to walk. Esse is away, and then our location is from the desk, from the desk, from the desk. I say nga ia savali esse mai. So why did she walk away from the desk? All right. So again, if you ever get lost when it comes to these questions, what is who? What is what? When? Where? Why? That comes first. Okay. Then do your tense, then your subject, your action. All that would be the action, and then our location. Okay. It can either be question. This is our question. Oops. I'll just do that. Question. It could be tense, subject, action, location, and then the time. Like when did she walk away from the desk yesterday? When did she walk away from the desk last year? Whatever. Or when will you walk away? So it could, so T salt. I guess that's what I was trying to introduce. So T salt, tense, subject, action, location, time. Or remember the way that we learned it at first. It's going to be tense, action, subject, location, time. The only reason this is we can say the tense, subject, action, location, time is why. Does anybody know why we can say like, why did she walk away from this? Why can we put this in that phrase form?
There's
Working with
only
the
one
pronoun.
subject.
Oh, yeah, I did hear the answer. It's because this is a pronoun. The only time we can do the T salt, like tense, subject, action, like to put the only time we can put the subject before the action is if it's a pronoun. He, them, us, we, y'all, us. You know, the pronouns. Only pronouns can have this. So we with this one, why did she walk away from the desk? I say ah. Oh, I'm sorry. I say ah. Na. Ia. Savariese. Maile kes. And then if we wanted to say a time, like we could say I'm not. Like, why did she walk away from the desk yesterday? I say ah na ia savariese maile kesi I'm not. All right. If it's not a pronoun, remember we can't say we can't put the S right there. We can't put the subject right there. All right. If anybody's confused about that, please let me know. I was out of town this Sunday, so we didn't have a tutorial session, but we'll have it this coming Sunday coming up. All right. So just in case you feel lost, I don't want anybody. We got a few more minutes left. So le means not. Okay. Leo means currently not. Lei means not yet. All right. The le is gonna be no. It's like something negative. Okay. So le makes the action negative. So ote le pialu maoi. I don't want to go with you. Ote I le fia. Fia is to want to go. Maoi. I don't want to go with you. Ote le pialu maoi. Ua le fa'ataitai. Ele fa'afe'au le launga. So has not. Remember, this is our updated tense marker. Le. So here's our action is fa'ataitai. That means like to practice. It means to exercise. In terms of like doing something over and over. Okay, so but if I le fa'ataitai, that's not practice. Not practice. So ua le fa'ataitai, and then who's doing it? Le fa'afe'au. We know that because of the what? The e. And the fa'afe'au is the preacher or the pastor or the leader of the church. Ua le fa'ataitai. Le fa'afe'au le launga. Launga is a speech or like like the speech. So the preacher has not practiced the speech, has not practiced. So to practice is fa'ataitai, and then le fa'ataitai is gonna be not practice. So anytime you put a le in front of an action, you make it not the action. You're saying not fa'ataitai, not here, not want go with you. O te le fi al mo'oi. Ua le fa'ataitai e le fa'ataiau le launga. Okay. Now this right here is like people in books, written by certain people, they'll say leo. And I think it's just really just depending on who's talking. But to me, it's almost like if you say le o moi. So the o is like short for olo'o. So if I not o moi is to sleep, and then le tamaitai. I'm sorry, tamai. So the kid is not the kid is not sleeping. The kid is not sleeping. So not ele, and then look at this like olo'o, ele olo'o. Moi. Moi is to sleep. Le kamaki. So ele, but you know, when people are speaking really fast, it's like a little moi. Le kamaki. So the kid is not asleep. The kid is not asleep. So leo is a present continuous negative. So right as of right now, kid is not sleeping. El leo moi li kamaki. El leo pat malo si chino le out. So this is pat malo si chino is to exercise, and then le out. So we're talking about the team. So not exercising at this very moment. The team is not exercising. El leo pat malo si chino le out. The team is not exercising. And then a past tense negative is le'i. Past tense negative. So ele'isau la upele. So this is kind of what they cry about on TikTok all the time. Like my love has not yet come. So le'i is almost like not yet, not yet, not yet come my love, not yet come my love. So le'i is a past negative. Oh, okay. It says right here. Can also be translated as not yet. Okay. So le'i. So we have a past tense negative. We have a current negative, and then we just have negative period. This I don't want to go with you. You know, the fight out in the preacher didn't practice the long period. Okay. Let me see what's next real fast. Okay. So the next one is a really big subject. There's no need to get into this right now because it's a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to hang around. Lava. And I will see you guys on Thursday. And helping verbs. I have to make a.
Are the page like the recordings still like is there a new link?
Yeah, it's gonna be so when you go to your link in your email, it says like it says it has a link. I don't know what the link is, but then after the link comes a password. Once you put the password in, you guys are the only ones that you know have access to that. It's like a pound 8%, something like that. And so when you go to that, all of the worksheets are there, all of the videos, the classes, everything is right there. Did I answer the question? I'm not sure if I.
Yeah, I think it did. So
Okay.
Fafatai te lava.
Hello.
Fafatai poor money available.
Manuel po pa lava.
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 Right.
Lava. Pa Stella. Yeah.